Settle down, man.
Yeah, I can't fucking figure this out.
Hurting people the way you do. They didn't understand, and I didn't understand then either. My wife even tried to tell me, "You're going to kill somebody one of these days with that temper."
Did you think you were capable of killing someone?
I always knew I could. Yes.
Yeah.
I murdered Susan Brown.
A different way to do this.
Was Mickey Brown. At the time, she was my girlfriend. I think about it constantly. It's just horrible what I've done. Fights over the years, senseless fights, stupid fights. Back in school days, I remember I would fight maybe the toughest guy, and I hurt him. And everybody was, talking to me. Wow, man, we didn't know you. Man, I hope you never jump on me, That gave me a nobody
What's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today, we're going to be taking the all-new ASUS ROG Ally X to the next level. I completely understand that, first and foremost, this is a handheld gaming PC.
Everybody kind of knew.
But with the addition of USB 4 on the X, it's easier than ever to really up the GPU performance by using an external GPU. It's got USB 4 and USB 3.2, and on the original ROG Ally, we could always connect an eGPU, but it was kind of specific. The original didn't have USB 4 or Thunderbolt, and it had what was known as the XG mobile port, and it did work out really well with the correct GPU, but we were very limited, and the price on those can definitely get on up there. And the bandwidth of the XG port is definitely more than USB 4, but I still think we can see some really great performance over USB 4 running at a 40 gig protocol. So in this video, we're going to be adding an NVIDIA RTX 4090. Is this overkill for the ROG Ally X? Of course it is. Is the Z1 Extreme going to bottleneck the RTX 4090? Yes, it will, but it's not going to bottleneck it as much as that USB 4 connection is. Either way, I want to see what we can do with this setup, and in order to get it connected to the ROG Ally X, I'm going to be using the Razer Core X eGPU dock. Unfortunately, the case just won't fit on top of this with that RTX 4090, and I did have to add a different power supply because there just weren't enough 8-pin connectors for this massive GPU. Getting it all connected is super easy, and one thing I do like about the X is we've got two USB Type-C ports. Like I mentioned, one USB 4, one USB 3.2, so we can also plug other devices in. With this Razer Core dock, there's no extra USB on it. That's one of the downsides to it, but it does do 100 watt PD charging out. And by the way, the little dock that I'm using here is only here for those extra USB ports and obviously the stand itself. Super easy to get this set up. All I had to do was plug in the eGPU, download the NVIDIA driver. There's a couple other things that I like to do when I'm in docked mode. I definitely want to make sure that we're getting enough performance out of this Ryzen Z1 Extreme. Doesn't make sense to plug all this in and run in, let's say, quiet mode at a 10 watt TDP on the CPU side of things. So we're going to head into Armory Crate SE, Performance. I'm in manual mode and we're just going to max everything out. So we've got a sustained TDP of 30 watts. For 2 minutes, it'll do 43 watts. And I believe for 10 or 20 seconds, it'll do 53 watts. But while gaming, we're probably going to be sitting there around 30, 34 watts. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this setup. As you can see, we do have that NVIDIA GPU activity monitor going, the RTX 4090. Just give you a look here. Ryzen Z1 Extreme, 24 gigs of 7500 megahertz RAM. And of course, that RTX 4090, 24 gigs of VRAM, and I've disabled the iGPU. That way, when I get into a game, I don't have to select the GPU. It's not automatically going to select the iGPU here. And when it comes to these Thunderbolt or USB GPUs, there's a couple tools that I use just to make sure we're getting the proper bandwidth, because not all docks and cables are created equal. One really good tool is CUDA-Z. So in my experience, if we take a look here in performance, I usually test in heavy load mode. Right here, host to device, anything between 22 up to 26 is really good. I'm right there at 24. USB 4 is 40 gigs, but the dock that I have here is actually a Thunderbolt 3 dock, so it's only up to 32. And even then, I don't think I'd see much of a difference here if I had a brand new dock. And to tell you the truth, I really haven't seen any faster docks on the market. But another thing you can use here is actually just GPU-Z. PCIe X16 4.0, but we're only running at X4 3.0. And just to make sure, yeah, X4 3.0. That's exactly what we're going to be doing over USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4. I'll tell you, in the past, I've actually had issues with different cables. So, like new USB 4 cables that say they do up to 240.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Matt, and today I'm super excited because I'm unboxing the new Meta Quest 3S VR headset. This is Meta's latest release in their virtual reality. You're really going to want to see this. I'm going to do an unboxing, and I'm also going to talk about a lot of the features that the 3S has. So without any further delay, let's get into it. Let's take a look at what's inside. The Meta Quest 3S comes in a clean, simple box, but don't let that fool you because there's a lot of power packed in here. So right out of the box, here we have the Meta Quest 3S headset.
Okay, we get it on this
The
if you
updated
want. You got
Touch
to wash
Plus
the pan.
controllers, a USB-C charging cable,
Well, I'm
a
done with
glasses
omelets.
spacer,
Do we
and the
got
user
milk?
manuals. The presentation is very similar to the
Oh,
Quest
the little
3, but
splash.
there
Gotta
are
be
some
enough.
differences,
Yeah,
and we'll
but
get
I
into
don't
that
want
here in just a
to.
second.
Should
All
I
right, let's
just
talk
make
design. The Meta Quest 3S looks a lot like the 3, but it's even sleeker and lighter, just under 500
Is
grams,
that
which is
how
pretty
much
incredible.
sandwich? You
That
just
means
or
it's going to
just
feel
wanted
even more
that
comfortable during
10
extended
cents.
use. Here's where things get interesting. Meta has further refined the sensors and cameras on the front. It looks a bit different than what the 3 looked like. So mixed reality on this headset's even better than before. Okay, here are the controllers. They feel really comfortable, and for those who like to play longer sessions, Meta's made sure that these are built for extended use. Now let's talk about some of the performance of the Meta Quest 3S. It's powered by we're looking at a very crisp 4K, and Meta's optimized the software to make everything run incredibly smooth. And the display is your real space was portrayed in black and white. The 3S is a lot like the 3 because your pass-through experience is in full color. And playing virtual reality in your real space so you can see your real space is a
So you're
big
not
plus, so
gonna
you
make?
don't have to worry about bumping into furniture or
Okay.
hurting yourself while you're playing one of your favorite VR games. The fourth thing is that there is tons of content. Whether you are interested in playing shoot 'em up games, or if you want to do some meditation, workout, fitness, that sort of thing, or just go exploring places, there are tons of titles available, and there are ton more on the horizon. So this is very much worth the money. So if you're new to virtual reality, the MetaQuest 3S is a perfect balance of power, tech, comfort, and ease of use. You don't need to have some sort of major technical degree to get started because the startup stuff is very easy and intuitive, and you have lots of guides to help get you started and playing right away. Now let's talk about battery life because that's very important. Out of the box, fully charged, this device, the 3S, will give you about 2 hours of virtual reality play. That's pretty good, and I will tell you, you'll probably be pretty tired at the end of the 2 hours. If, however, you're looking for extended play time, with some of those third-party head straps, they actually have little battery power connectors that can extend your playtime, and you just plug it into the charging port, and you're ready to go for at least another 2 hours. So 4 hours total on this. I think you're definitely going to get your money's worth. The controllers also need power too, so remember that. Now these are not rechargeable batteries, but it comes already equipped with one single AA battery for each one of the controllers, one for the left and right, and it's pretty easy to just snap on and off the little compartment door. I got my MetaQuest 3S from Amazon, and remember it's a 128 gig version, and it comes with the Arkham Shadow Batman game, so that's already pre-installed and free. That's like a $50 value right there added to it. So how much do you think this thing cost me or will set you back? Presently, I got this for $299. and I got it from Amazon. It shipped. It got to me. I ordered it one evening, and it came by the next morning. I wasn't even awake yet. It was 6:30 in the morning when it arrived. So very, very super fast shipping. Now, I don't know if they are going to continue to have this kind of deal later. My research has shown that I don't expect to have a better deal for any kind of Black Friday thing since this has just been released. So if you're curious about getting your hands on it, you might want to do so quickly. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and also check out some of my other unboxings and DIYs I have on my playlist that are available. And in the meantime, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
You are babying him. He's never going to grow up.
And your mother doesn't baby you by brushing
just-
your hair, putting the mayonnaise in your hair. She doesn't do that.
Okay.
Shaving your back.
We are not supposed to talk about mayonnaise.
Oh, should never get the soft spot.
They said they would talk about that. My people talk to their people. That hurts. Hello, everybody. I'm Ken.
I love Sanchez. You love Sanchez?
Yeah.